Hi, Lokanathan sir. Good evening. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, Newton Raja. Thank you. Saravanan sir. Good evening. Welcome to the live stream. Okay. Hello everyone. So I'll just conduct a poll here. Please let me know what is your view about the market. From there we will discuss. We'll take it forward from there. Okay. What is your view? Bullish, bearish, or sideways? Karthikeyan sir, good evening. Amarnath sir, thank you so much for the first comment, first like. All right. So previously market was trading within a downward channel pattern. Okay. So finally it has given a breakout today. Today entire day it was in a upward range. Now previously selling started here. This area acted as resistance. Again the zone market gave a false breakout. Again it acted as a resistance. Now if these sellers are strong, right, who's yesterday on 30th, whoever kept the market towards the upside, either during this correction they would have booked profit, or during this reversal they would have booked their profit. So to a certain extent there's no stop loss hunting level on top, but we can see there is one resistance area here. Market is respecting this resistance. Anyone who entered at the lower end at this breakout or this breakout, to a certain extent they are in a profit zone. So here we will see if market sustains above the zone, gives a breakout, shows continuation, or if the sellers who was here, will they re-enter and push the market towards the downside. So if there is confusion between both of them, then market might tend to stay sideways. That we will see. In case any opportunity we get, we will try to capture. First thing is this area is acting as a resistance zone. One more, maybe if you draw Fibonacci levels, this is somewhere near 0.5618 level only, right? 786 and 618 level. So this is an important seller's pressure zone. If market sustains above the zone, then we'll think about bullish, not at this point of time. Global market, if you look at Dow Jones, it's kind of flat. S&P 500, Nasdaq, still we need to get the data. Once we start getting data from all the index, then we will see. Ethereum, as of now, at this point of time, it is at a seller's pressure zone. Okay, so this zone, a little above this 270, yeah. If market sustains above this zone, then maybe we can consider bullish trade, not at this point of time. Okay. We'll see how market behaves. Based on that, we can decide. Here also, if you see continuous seller's pressure, in case it gives a breakout, first it can convert to false breakout, right? So here there is a bearish setup available. In case the setup fails only, we can look at bullish trade towards the upside. Only if market goes above, let's say 2480 and then shows continuation. Until then, I would consider this area as trapping zone. So rest of the index, any S&P 500 has opened with a slight gap down. Slight gap down here. Here it's saying kind of flat opening, 0.05%. But it is still at indecision zone. The direction is not yet clear. Dow Jones is seeing some pressure from the upper level. It can correct a bit more. Okay, Nasdaq, still we need to get the data. So overall, every market at this point of time is not in the right place. It's showing some bearishness here, but BTC and all is trying to hold on to this range. We'll give the market some time and then decide. In gold, if you see, I don't think there is something important as level is there in gold at this point of time. I feel this is the upper range and lower range is 3,315. Where is 3,315? This zone. Okay. So as long as market is staying between the zone, difficult to judge. Okay, this is the upper resistance. Little above this, it comes down to 620. Yeah, this is perfect. This is the upper seller pressure zone. Here, this is the buying demand zone. Okay, so within this range, if market is trading in between, little bit we have to be careful. BTC sellers, no interesting setup as of now, only that it is holding on to 236 level zone. When there is buying pressure, it can hold on, but this can get converted to a false breakout and then reverse. That problem is definitely there. Only if it shows continuation above this, we can be looking for a bullish trade. Or from here only, if it corrects at the lower level, somewhat bullish trade we have to see. Please share gold higher time frame analysis. Gold higher time frame. See, after being bullish for 2 straight days, here gold has been bullish for 2 straight days. Today it's in indecision zone. This area market has corrected and moved towards the downside. Yesterday's high is important. Only if market sustains above that level, we can be looking at bullish trade. Yes, there is a trend line. This trend line market is forming indecision, right? It has to go above that. Only then we can decide the long-term view. In intraday basis, view is neutral. It is between the support and resistance, and it is forming a doji candle. So nothing interesting in gold at this point of time. Trend line, maybe this area is acting as support. If market breaks this zone, this zone can be the next pressure zone for the market. So this is one supporting zone in the market next. Okay, the zone is there, but here if it forms a wick little more lower, it can come if it's moving towards the downside. That we will see later. What BTC is doing, it's holding on to the upper range. Too much of sellers pressure here. Once if it gives a breakout, will it convert to false breakout is what we have to see. Nothing apart from that. So shall we trade gold in Zerodha? Trading gold in Zerodha, I am not doing that. Only investment perspective. I'm buying gold base, holding on to it. So that's how things are going for me. Saran's Vault, hello, welcome to the live stream, sir. My initial expectation is this. Okay. In case it sustains this, correct, shows bullishness, any bearish setup fails here, only then we can focus on bullish trade. It's holding 236 level, that's fine. But how much will it move? Will it move another At the lower end, I should have entered if required. I did not have confidence to enter there. Maybe around 600, 670, 700 points maximum movement. No need to look for bullish trade is what I'm thinking right now. Nasdaq S&P 500 is positive, slightly positive. That's not a big deal for us. Let us get Nasdaq data, then it will be a bit more better for us to take decision. If we get a breakout at the upper level, somewhere if market, this one here, not yet decided. Okay, I'm just putting the risk reward ratio and checking, that's it. 100 for that. It has to give a breakout for us to, get little more confidence on the bearish side. As of now, at this zone, what it tries to do is just 50-50%. Any direction it can move. So we'll just mark these levels and wait for some more time. Ethereum also coming to the upper level. Here any bearishness we get, we can try that once. All the index has become pretty dull. Around 58% of the people are bullish about the market. Please. Srinivasa, good evening. Welcome to the live stream. Even though market is taking support here, I hope you are understanding why I'm not entering a bullish trade, right? Continuously market is bullish. There's a very small correction from here. If it moves, of course, we can look for bullish trade after continuation. Let's say it gave a breakout here, breakout fails, and then again it shows continuation, means to a certain extent we can say buyers are strong, let's plan for bullish trade, things like that. But since I consider this as seller zone, the seller who's on top, if this converts to false breakout, market can correct, right? So that time, that moment opportunity I should not be missing. That's why. Long-term view keeps changing based on what Trump says, right? We'll wait until July 9th and then decide what is the long-term view. Please suggest the buyer zone. I don't understand what you mean, suggest buyer zone. This is seller's pressure zone. There are two areas where this zone market, if buyers are strong, they can re-enter, okay, after the correction. Or if market gives a breakout, if it converts to false breakout, then market can correct a bit. So that is what I'm thinking. Continuously this is acting as a resistance. Keep a tab on this, by then I'll look into other things. S&P 500 is holding on, flat opening, it's kind of going positive. Nasdaq after the opening, it is slightly positive. Important buying pressure zone, yes, S&P 500, Nasdaq both are at, right? So how it reacts at the zone, we have to see. There's some continuation in S&P 500. Let me show that here. See, S&P 500, this is an important, after the breakdown market is reversing, right? This is an important zone. As long as S&P 500 breaks this zone, little bit buying pressure will be there. Along with that, little more we can expect sideways market. And then Nasdaq, if you see also, it's come to the lower zone. It's holding on to the zone. Okay. So if market goes below this zone and all, it will have a bit of impact in the Ethereum as well and BTC as well. So here BTC is moving to the upper level. We'll wait for that. Gold though is just given a breakdown, holding on, continuation. If gold moves down, it can move up to this zone, and here you can see some kind of pressure. So if you're focusing on gold, this is the area. Ethereum still has space to move up. Here it's moving up, right? It has little more space. At the upper level only we'll get an idea as to will Ethereum correct or not. Okay, market has come to the upper level. Breakout, small retest. Again here breakout. Ethereum is spiking, BTC is spiking. Here recent swing, it has given a breakout, that's fine. Nasdaq. I mean, buying pressure zone. See, buying pressure can come at this zone, right? Or let's say this converts to false breakout. I'm saying this is the seller pressure zone. That's why I'm not entered, even though here market was moving towards the upside. I didn't want it to do that. Buyer's pressure zone, let's say market gave a breakout here. It corrected and later it is showing some kind of buying pressure. Then we will identify the zone and look for opportunity. Now the continuous rally, any kind of pullback, little upper level, 500 points. This is of more. Any bearish setup we get, then we will plan our entry. It's correct. It's not giving any confidence for buyers to enter. It has to give little more confidence to buyers to enter to trap them. Still, it's not given them any confidence. I'll switch to 3 minutes. Exactly at the seller pressure zone. Plan my entry here. It's here, breakout. Fresh candle, not broken the low of the previous candle. The candle is bit not that strong. Previous 15 minutes. Okay. This is where I'll place an order here. Okay. So stop loss. Stop loss is here. Here. The zone, how much it will break. If it breaks, that we have to see. I've taken a bearish trade already. Risk reward is not sitting properly. If it risk reward is not setting properly here, so for this trade too much risk we cannot take. Now there is a correction. If this has to show continuation, it has to do that. This can be a pullback or it can be a very big move. Okay, still we don't have clarity on that. So up to this zone is what I'm thinking. If it can come to this zone, trailing the stop loss would be a better thing for us to do. The zone only it has to sustain right now. If it sustains, fine. 3, 4. If this has to go below this candle, if it goes below this candle, we are kind of okay in this trade. It has to break this candle, okay? If it breaks that zone, then more comfortably we can hold on to this trade. Let me look at other index also, what they're doing. Nasdaq is holding on to the lows, so it's kind of okay. Dow Jones is kind of turning bearish. S&P 500 also no big movement, it's kind of flat. Nasdaq has to correct a bit. It is showing a bit of bullishness, you can see that. So reasonable stop loss we have given. Now at least risk reward is sitting properly, like $65 as the risk, $130 as the reward. So 1:2 is 1:2 at least we will get. As long as this level breaks, it is a headache itself. But since it is a selling pressure zone, I have entered. As much as possible, I'll try to reduce the stop loss also for this trade. Okay, only after the continuation I can reduce the stop loss even more. Little bit entry if I had got here, that would have been really helpful, because the seller's pressure zone we were waiting, but I was looking at a 15 minutes time frame chart. That's okay. So how did I identify that seller pressure zone? See, traders usually, I try to do certain things opposite to what many people do. Okay, so for example, let's say I switch to 15 or 13 minutes time frame. Here what has happened is market has given a breakout here. It has previously it was holding on to this range, so this zone people will be a bit bearish. They'll get confidence only when market breaks this zone, right? Or it gives a breakout at this zone. At this upper level, if they break, the seller who's sitting here, he might have a chance to re-enter the market. So with that expectation, first I'm going to believe the seller who's sitting on top. If there is no point in market making a little more higher move in case it doesn't want, only if it can make that kind of move if it wants to trap those sellers who are here and it wants to do continuation. If this seller is strong, basically he has to push the market from this zone only, trapping the buyers, creating some liquidity here. So with that expectation, I thought this is going to be the seller's pressure zone. As long as the seller doesn't give up, this is going to be the main selling area. Okay, all of these things I've discussed in our price action stop loss hunting course. How much is it required to trade in BTC? It depends on how much lot you want to trade. At the initial stage, you can trade with even 10 lots. Okay, so just go here, calculate. Here you see how much quantity you want to take. Based on that entire data you will get here, right? How much you want to enter. If you want to buy, you want to sell, you can decide here. Go to the calculator, you see how much it is. Based on that you can decide. Already I made a video on YouTube, only 30 minutes video. In that each and everything I have covered. Those basic things also you can have a look. As long as market breaks this zone, it is a headache. Here it has given a breakout, no doubt, and that converted to failure. But previously, looking at this zone, many people wouldn't have entered still. So to trap them one more upside move, if it does, more people will think about entering and later market can correct. That one concern we have. Anyways, if our risk reward doesn't sit properly, then we have to reduce the risk, right? No other option. So I've reduced the risk only for this trade and kept. Based on that, we will see how it survives this area. I'm sure many people are bullish about the market after this breakdown and things like that. Since I want to take opposite direction trade and I was waiting, considering this as the seller zone, I'm waiting. If this converts to false breakdown, this was just to trap, something like that. Later I'll be looking at bullish trade, not at this point of time. Little buffer maximum I can give for this trade, nothing more than that. Above this candle, that's it. Risk is around 170, 180 points. Nasdaq though, it's kind of flying things like that, but anyways it's coming to the resistance zone itself. I feel Nasdaq, if you see here, you can see it has trying to give a breakout here, right? If it gives a breakout also, I feel it will come maximum up to, let's say, 20,000, this zone. Up to this zone it can come, later it can reverse. That's my understanding. We'll see how it happens, what happens. How many of you have entered this trade along with me? Let me know. Praveen sir, good evening. Welcome to the live stream. SNK sir entered. Okay. Yesterday after the live stream also had discussed about a setup in our free Telegram group. You can see that here. In Ethereum, I said it has a chance of moving towards the upside from this zone, right? And BTC also had discussed about this setup. Market moved, Fed chairman, he was speaking a lot and things like that. It moved as per our direction to a certain extent. So, but I said people, market movement is a bit slow. You guys can close if you want. So anyone who was closed, they would have captured one decent, okay, 60 to 70 points. What is the best time to trade in crypto? Best time is London session opening time. Or many people, I have a close buddy, okay. So what he usually does is, he just lets the market do whatever it wants during the first half, okay. Based on that, he will take some time, analyze the sentiment, and then he will try to decide the trend, and he will take trade. He's very successful in doing that. I have tried that. For me, that doesn't work. Initial first half of the day itself, let's say in Nifty and Bank Nifty also, during the first half itself, majority of the time I try to capture the moment what I want and close my trade before 12. Very rare instance I sit in the trade post 1 o'clock, 1:30. After 2 o'clock, definitely my psychology, sometimes the success rate after 2 o'clock is very low for me. So basically, I don't sit in the market during that time. How I identify seller zone, explain. I think I explained that already. This though market is holding too long. Just don't give a spike and then correct. BTC. Dow Jones though decently it is correcting. Nasdaq, what is the problem? S&P 500. S&P 500 also has moved enough. So basically in US market, I'm expecting a bit of correction. See, in this trade, target I'm looking for 800. Okay, even if market comes down here 500, 600 points, it's very good for the risk that we are taking, right? Close to 200 points. So if we get 400, 500 points also, we can achieve 1:2 risk reward here. And yes, looking at this, sometimes even I expected, okay, from this zone it failed, corrected, but there is one more zone also, which is that this previous swing, if it gives a breakout, then it decides to correct and all those things is not under my control. Again, one more opportunity only I have to look at. I can't give very bigger stop loss and then uh, you know take too much risk here. Again, that time target has to be little more. Those kind of things I cannot do. There's a decent risk reward. If sellers were here, if they're strong, they'll push it, or in case if it gives a breakout again, they want to push, they will do it. So too much of head pressure, too much of stop loss, no need to take in this trade at this point of time. This is enough pullback what market has done, this zone. If it starts moving above this zone, then we'll start getting ready to for our exit also. Market goes above this, then start considering your exit plan. Okay. Okay, not that much moment. Dow Jones got beaten up yesterday. Nasdaq got beaten up yesterday nicely. That's why here today little bit they're trying to hold on to it. So Nasdaq, let's say up to this range, if it goes also, if BTC sustains up to that zone, that would be better for us. Nothing big is happening in any market today. Maybe you can have a look at gold. The zone I had told, right? Gold can come up to this zone. Let's say it gives a breakdown here. See if there is anyone who entered gold. Maybe this is your booking zone, because from this zone it can reverse, or from this zone. So if you have taken gold trade, be a bit careful. Ethereum though still trading below the selling pressure zone itself. This is the seller's pressure zone. Only if it goes above that, maybe you can look at bullish trade, not at this point of time. Stack resistance area. BTC is holding on to the upper level. Shall I enter now with minimal stop loss? See, wait for a little longer. Consider this zone. If it breaks out, hits my stop loss, maybe one more setup, I'll be looking at it towards the downside. existing trade, we have to get prepared to, book the loss in case market goes above this zone. Nasdaq is exactly near the resistance. It should have broken that level already. Just like in Nifty, don't we have to check open interest chart here? Let's not make things too much complicated. This zone, yes, there are some sellers. To create pressure for the market can move towards the upside. That's why now I'm saying don't take any entry. Wait for some time. Once that is cleared, maybe market can move towards the downside. That time we will take. Jones is correcting. BTC is just. Nasdaq is just creating some attraction for random bearish traders. Along with that, BTC also is continuing. Stop loss is very small. One more opportunity when we get, we will plan our entry again. Too slow in the zone. Still 1 more minute for this candle to close. We'll see, traders. $5.95. Definitely buyer's pressure is there. If someone is thinking of selling here, buyers can quickly react and push the market towards the upside. So fresh entry taking possibility is difficult. Let's close this position. Or if this enters, again it get triggered. Let me let it trigger itself. $600 to $900. I don't know what magic, what miracle is happening. Little above this candle only, I'd kept the stop loss. Shall I check this one? Nasdaq to nothing. This is S&P for nothing. What can I say about this? Point to point, just near the stop loss, it came and reversed. As of now, selling is strong here. Next, if market goes above this red candle, we'll anyways plan our exit. This candle market has to break, traders. That's important for me. Until then, that pressure is going to be there. I noticed that all the move come before 7. Not necessary. I've been looking at the market. Not necessary all the time. All the move comes at 7 or before 7 itself. See, the problem that we definitely have is that 7 o'clock is the time. Maybe that time forcefully we have to wait for a setup, or let's say we are in live. In that even small risk reward opportunity we get, that we have to plan. Like that only situation we will come across. But throughout the day, when we see more conviction setup, we will get 3 to 4 setups. So that one, mainly if we focus, then it would be more better for us, because there the probability of those setup working out would be really high, right? So those setups definitely I will share with you guys. Morning I just get busy with Nifty, Bank Nifty trades, and then afternoon other business meetings, like that it goes. The main idea only is to the main idea only is to make you guys independent by giving you the tools, right? The strategy, the tools, if I give you, without my support itself, you guys can plan the trade. That is the whole thing. This point to point, it went near the stop loss and it reversed. It's somewhat near cost to cost. How many people held on the trade along with me, or did you book? What is your situation? Let me know. Here I should say I'm a little bit lucky. If there was any, reversal at the zone, see Nasdaq reaching the zone, if it's getting reversed, then I would say okay, to a certain extent, based on my analysis, I had that conviction to hold on to the trade until that zone. But this one, Nasdaq also did not move that much. This one just lucky stop loss, that's all I can say. Weak players market would have removed here. So if it has to continue, it has to continue now. Again, if it makes upside move, for sure it will break and show continuation. How many of you are still holding the trade along with me? Let me know. The high of this candle was 1,07,967. Mine was 971. Just 4-5 points difference. Holding. Okay. Again, this market has come to confusion zone. This zone, it has to break, traders. As of now, you see Nasdaq has come to this area. From here, if it corrects, that would be very good for us. Hopefully, if that happens, that would be supportive. S&P 500. S&P 500 also is an important zone, but I think it will hold on to this range. If it breaks, then it has potential to go up to 6,200. How this is going to react is confusing itself. This is a pullback. Kind of roller coaster ride this is happening today. Break this zone, buddy, soon. If you break this zone only, there is conviction. The market more it holds on to this range, the conviction keeps reducing. Taking any fresh entry also doesn't make sense. If market breaks these levels and all is fine. This level it has to break. I only got a bit lucky at this zone. Let me just see 15 minutes. 15 minutes candle breakdown, it's given. Let's say it recovers up to 50% of this also. It has to show continuation. These candles and all it has to break. Because here buyer's conviction is high. $187. Nasdaq just holding. S&P 500, I told you, right? It has chances of breaking this zone. It's broken that zone. For gold, I had discussed this. This is the zone from where market can either reverse or it can give a breakdown and then reverse. When I say like this, safe traders cannot enter the trade here. Risk takers only should enter. If the movement is happening, they can trail the stop loss to cost so that in case it reverses also they take the stop loss. One more attempt like this they can try. Now safe traders who would have waited up to this zone, they wouldn't have got entry. People who was able to take a bit of risk, they would have entered. Stop loss, they would have got up to this zone. So safe traders has to wait up to this zone for the next recovery. So that's how things are. Almost near stop loss. This time it will take. Okay, around close to 200 points was the risk for this trade. I've taken the risk. This zone market should have broken. Only then I would have had more conviction. It did not break. So I think that's fine as of now. Sellers pressure zone market is holding. One more setup. If I get conviction, this breakout is happening, I'll leave that as it is. Because here at this zone, first I need to see, is it just a false breakout before the pullback, or there is going to be correction before the upside move. Because sellers who's on top still, they have not given up. So my expectation is to wait for some more time and then decide what kind of opportunity we have. All the index is kind of rallying towards the upside. You can see that here Ethereum has almost come to the seller's pressure zone. It has given a breakout. Anyone who's interested in bullish trade, I would suggest to avoid bullish trade at this point of time because there's the seller's pressure zone. If you want to take the trade, that's entirely up to you. I have no issues. For me, the moment what all the levels it has broken, seller pressure zone market has come. This was the main setup I was looking for. The 300-400 points risk. I will try this, traders. Place the order. Whose risk tolerance for the day is over. You can avoid the trade. This is going to be my last trade for the day. The expected upside move, attracting people, everything has come. If the seller who's on top, if he is strong, definitely he has to push the market up. Let's see if he's strong or not. Based on that, will we get the movement or not? We'll look into it. This is my last setup. I've taken the bearish trade again. And you can see in Ethereum also the selling pressure zone market is holding. Again, one more small stop loss. Decent target opportunity I might not get, so I will enter now itself. $375, 380 points. This is a proper risk reward trade for me, right? I've taken this trade. I will share that in the group as well. Who's interested, they can take. If they're not interested, they can avoid. That's entirely up to them. I'm not just putting risk reward calculator and telling you you can enter here or not, right? I'm putting my money also here. Based on the concept of what I understand, market has to reverse. If it does, fine. If it does not, based on the risk capacity, I'll take the stop loss and I will exit. Holding on. $6,400, 6,500 range. Sellers are strong, they can push the market up to that zone. So Nasdaq is showing some bullishness. S&P 500 is showing the bullishness. S&P 500, I said right, if market breaks this zone up to this zone, it can go. That's what it is trying to do. For his entry was a bit quick. How many of you by chance is holding on to the first trade, or how many of you entered the second trade along with me? Let me know, traders. This zone. That's fine. At least let S&P 500 reach that upper level. Then maybe the expected downside I might get. The zone is... I'll switch to 1 minute time frame. Okay. Just to get a better understanding as to how market is holding on to the zone. First time breakout, trapped people, took support here, attracted people here. Again breakout, trapped buyers. Again correction. This zone, if it goes below this zone, at least the recent bottom it has to go. This is the main zone I wanted to go, but at least first it has to break this zone. Logic for the trade is very simple. I've informed you guys already. Let you know once more. See here, market gave a breakout, it corrected. It corrected here. Now this was one zone, but I was a bit skeptical that okay, this upside market has not yet cleared. It did not give a breakout towards the upside. Should I enter here or not? Let me give a small stop loss and then try. Okay, that I tried. Market recovered, took the stop loss. Now the initial setup what I wanted, where market giving a breakout here, then reversing, that setup started forming, especially when I was about to close the trade for the day. This was the main setup I was waiting for. Now when I saw that setup forming, I did not want to miss out on the opportunity. Even I had the bandwidth to take the risk. So near selling pressure zone, if these sellers are strong, they should ideally push the market towards the downside. Hopefully they do that. That is my expectation. Traders, let me know if you guys have taken this trade or not. If you have not taken this trade, that's fine. I'll close the live stream. There is no requirement for live commentary. All the update I will share in the free Telegram group itself about the status of this request. If you've taken the trade, then maybe I will stay live for some more time. If you're not taken this trade, better I will close this live. Take a minute, let me know if you have taken the trade or you have not taken the trade. SNK has taken. Anyone else? Okay. Pullback, recovery. If you're taken, fine. Almost near cost to cost zone itself, it's trading. So which is the best time for crypto trading? I mean, regularly, how many hours should I spend in it? See, based on human psychology, with concentration maximum, 1 hour, 1.5 hours is when we can concentrate, right? That you decide when, let's say, when US market opening, during that one time you want to spend that 1 hour, 1.5 hours. I know many people who just keep sitting and looking at the chart throughout the day. Now you see, today what was my view about the market? Let me explain that. You see this, my initial plan for the day was this. Okay, this was my initial plan, and somewhere at the zone only I think I exited. I wanted market to reach up to this zone. I don't know where I have shared. I think in later point of the day I have told at this zone only, when market was, this is where I'm looking for a reversal, or at this zone. Market took 2 o'clock up to, by the time it reached this zone. After 2 o'clock I don't look at the market, right? So here in this, you see, this is the setup. Here only premium movement of 40 points, what I wanted I got, and then market went up to this zone around 2 o'clock. Around 2 o'clock, I said, I have no more interest. The setup is done. From bearish, I'll change the view to neutral. Market reversed. Maybe call side around 10 12 points movement would have got, but on the put side, too much premium decay would have happened. So the setup I had discussed morning itself. Where is the setup? Somewhere at this zone. Here the movement was quick. I was waiting until 160 points. I got the 160 points. So what I expected I got, then I closed. Later market corrected. Same thing. So my expectation is to spend maximum 1.5 hours, 2 hours, especially in Indian market, from 9:30 to 11:30. That is the maximum time I'll be waiting for, looking for opportunity. Maybe one setup fail, one more setup. If I'm getting confidence, I'll enter. Two things I will do during that time, right? So in both the setups, if my mindset and market mindset is not in sync, I don't want to sit and look at the market for the entire day. I just want to close. I don't want to compete with the market for that particular day. Or in case setup is there, it is convincing. If I have risk appetite for that particular day, then I will take. In case already first 2 times the setup, let's say my risk is around 50,000. If that 50,000 rupees risk is already taken care for that particular day, then I will not take more than that much risk, because that is predetermined. So like that is how I look at the setup. The second setup also, I had the bandwidth. I wanted to take the trade. This time, first trade, minimal stop loss I gave. This here, reasonable stop loss I have given. If market proves me wrong at this time also, I will not compete with the market. I will give up, take the stop loss and close. I'll just go based on what price action is telling, stop loss hunting is saying. Stop loss is saying, hunting is saying sellers have not yet given up. So the zone I have entered. Maybe after 1 hour, 1.5 hour, if market breaks this level, you might say this is not the selling pressure zone. Buyers were very strong. But what is the use of that? You did not take any trade there, right? So it depends. Information, what I give, how you make use of the information, or you're just sitting and doing calculator profit. So maximum 1 hour to 2 hours you can spend in the market. Rest of the time, I think it is better that you avoid. Even if you're re-entering, there is a huge break in Indian market. Let's say morning 11:30, 12 o'clock, I close my trade. Then quickly, what time? Again, I look at crypto market. I look at it post 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. That time in between, there is a gap. There I do other activities. I don't look at the charts that much. So that's how I look into things. You need to decide. But in common, 2 hours is more than sufficient during any part of the day. Let it be morning, evening. This one, upward channel pattern. Did Nasdaq, S&P. Okay, now there is one conviction that S&P 500 has come to this zone. 214 was my range. Market is corrected from this area. My expectation was 215 from here if Nasdaq corrects. Good. Today Dow Jones, S&P 500 corrected. Nasdaq, hopefully it has been a bit more bullish. It's trying to recover yesterday's correction and all. Even if that supports, that will be fine for us. Much high volatility. Why don't you trade in options? Why only? At the initial stage, just want to do futures market. Option selling, we have to do it based on the strategy itself. The strategy is there, but during that time, I don't come live. That strategy, what I was following, it was giving good results. All of a sudden, it was not giving results. So I thought, okay, let me wait for some time and then go back to the option selling strategy. So that is what it is. And one more thing, Indian market, option buying, things like that, you guys don't do. You do it. Option buying, you guys do, not option selling, or you don't go for futures market because of the capital requirement and things like that. Here in futures market itself, no time decay, nothing, any kind of issues. If market, let's say even if I have taken bearish trade here, same, let's say this is my first trade, market is staying within this range for longer duration, simply time decay I will have if I buy options. That is not required. Option, crypto option is good, everything is good, traders. It is just that we need to get a bit adjusted to it. Now close to 6 months future market I'm looking into, maybe in the month of August or September. Option market I will look into, but that one will be based on the strategy itself. During, instead of live market, I will give the strategy what I'm following. I will tell this is a specific time when we have to use the strategy, exactly what strike price, what premiums we have to take, everything I will explain. Only the trades what I take, that results I will post, right? So that's how I'm planning to do. 10 to 15 trades anyways. That strategy, what logic I take, everything in the strategy video, it will be there. Since that setup is not giving decent profit at this point of time, I don't want people to naked options, right? So people have to be a bit careful. This market though is not moving in any direction, just creating attraction on both the sides. This market is saying there is some kind of liquidity on top somewhere at this zone. Some liquidity is on top, it says. At the bottom it says liquidity is somewhere near 6,000 range, this range. We are in between these two ranges. Here I can see some volume spike. Volume spike is there. The candle is not that big, but volume spike is there. What channel pattern? This consolidation is creating too much problem for my setup. And even I've got bored. I've decided the stop loss, I've decided the target. I'm not going to make any changes to that. So stop loss, yet there is another 200 points range, 250 to 70 points range. This one is an upward channel pattern. Market has attracted buyers, no stop loss hunting level on top. Still my logic sets to take a bearish trade, hold on to the trade. When I click the link, it's not opening to link to open account. Okay, sir, I will share the link in the comment section. You use this link to open the account. Pushpa Raju, sir. Ethereum also has not moved up to the upper zone, what I discussed here, 380. If you see 380 was the zone what I discussed, it is staying at seller pressure zone. Even if it gives a breakout up to 380, one correction is possible. So bullish trade according to me is not sitting here. Higher lows, higher highs, and it's just moving towards the upside, creating attraction. Anyways, traders, the market is just within a range. You can see still for my stop loss around 260 to 70 points is there. Whatever is the status of the trade, I'll let you know in the group. Okay, if you're not joined our free Telegram channel, please join. Already the setup I've discussed here. We'll see how the setup goes, how the market goes. Any further updates I will discuss with you. All right, so I'm not going to make any changes. This is a reasonable stop loss for the trade, the target which I'm looking for. Okay, if you are worried about the trade, you want to book, you book here, right? But I'll hold on to this trade without changing the stop loss and target. Maybe target I will change, I will extend the target, but stop loss I will not be changing. Okay, I'm okay to give the stop loss. As of now, just $25 is the risk. Let the setup go as it is. For the update, I'll update in the free Telegram group. Okay, thank you everyone for participating in the live stream. Even I'm getting bored looking at no movement at all. So we will close the live stream. Any update I will update in the, I'll share with you in the free Telegram group. Okay, don't miss that. Yes, like the sound of changing through. Changing the target, fingers crossed. We will see that. Okay. All right, traders. Bye bye. Take care. Before closing the live stream, if you haven't made use of the content, support the channel by liking the video. It motivates me also to make regular video for you guys. All right. Bye bye. Take care.